what if I want to write this slash somewhere in my code and not being interpreted as escape? I'm not seeing this slash anywhere, right? So for instance, this sometimes will happen when you have a path, for example, a path in the computer. This will be pretty common when you are working with external files, and for example, C users evo my documents. This is pretty common to use, of course, not with my username, but with yours. And we want to access this folder in some way in the future. Notice that we have a Unicode escape codec. Basically, Python is trying to escape this U, trying to escape this I, but it doesn't have any code here of U, I, and all that, right? So it doesn't really understand what I'm trying to use as escape. But I'm not trying to escape anything. I'm just using these slashes to represent the path that I want to give to Windows, because this is how you write Windows paths. So how can I make this being interpreted as string? I can use something which is the raw string. And the raw string is something really, really cool, which is, in this case, I will just tell Python, okay, ignore everything regarding escape characters and all that you know, please, because I don't want to consider it. And I just put an R before declaring the string. Notice that my R is just before opening the character here and defining it right now. So now if I run this, this will work. And if I print my path, of course, it will yield my correct path. Now, an important thing, if I use a raw string, of course, if I have here /n, the /n will not produce the new line that we've seen, because right now I'm telling Python, please ignore everything that you know about escape characters just for this string alone. And this R just works for this string alone. Of course, it doesn't change anything regarding fundamental string manipulation in Python. It's just a way for me to go around and tell Python, I really need this /n right here. So please ignore everything that you know about escaping characters. For example, imagine that we have this string, Norman. If I don't pass, and let me do this example probably here, name example. If we have this name, which is Norman, and for some reason we have this slash here because, well, we don't know, let's speculate that this came from a certain system that had this slash before. And now if I try to print the name example, if I don't give it a raw string, I'll have a new line, Orman. Doesn't make sense. We want to see the poor Norman here, right? But this is being treated as a new line because this is the escape character for new lines. So I need to put the R before again for this to print me the Norman as I want. Okay, hope this made sense. Before we leave, just another point is we can also put paragraphs by using a special type of declaration, of string declaration. And in this case, this string declaration, I'm going to put multiple line, is super simple. Instead of using one single quotes or one double quotes, we use 1, 2, 3. And if we use 1, 2, 3, we can do multiple things. Hi, I'm Ivo. How are you? And now we can declare multiple lines without using the new line approach. Okay, here you go. This is my string that I've declared. Of course, if I just use a single quote, remember, can't work with multiple lines here in Python. If you want to do multiple lines, remember to open the string with 3 quotes and close it with 3 quotes. Of course, this also works with our double quotes. If I go here, double quotes, and here also double quotes, works all the same. Just need 3 of them to make your statement a multi-line statement. Okay, so we got here our basic anatomy of strings here in Python. I think we are pretty prepared to work with them now in more advanced programs in the future. You'll also have the opportunity, of course, train a lot back and forth with these strings in the exercises. But we are still not leaving. We still have 2 things that I want to cover here. First is the question of methods and functions that we can call in strings. Recall that the type of object determines what functions we can call. We can't call, for example, the absolute function here, as we've seen. But there are certain cool methods that we can use here on strings. That's what we are going to detail on the next lecture. And finally, we are going to use Python string formatting, a really important concept to work with strings here in Python. Let's tackle those 2 concepts, and then, of course, exercises for us to practice and continue with the learning. I'll see you in the next lecture.